Mesdames, Messieurs, bonsoir. Il est 20h à la une de ce journal bilingue. L'égalité femmes-hommes doit être une réalité dans notre ville. Déclaration du gouverneur de la région du littoral ce 8 mars à Douala. Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadiboa présidait alors le défilé de la 37e édition de la Journée internationale de la femme à la place de la BCK. La parade de ce jour a par ailleurs été l'occasion pour les femmes de montrer quelques-unes de leurs prouesses. À suivre à ce sujet le reportage d'Orient Donquin dans ce journal. Voilà pour le principal titre. On ouvre ce journal en langue anglaise avec vous, Christelle Asexwele. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Makeda Lizzie Newton. Good evening, televiewers. You're watching the 8 p.m. Bilingual Primetime Newscast on Spectrum Television. As announced in our headlines, women have today, March 8, come out in their numbers to celebrate the 37th edition of the International Women's Rights Day at the Beseke ceremonial ground here in Douala, economic capital of Cameroon. The ceremony was presided over by the governor of the Littoral region, Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadiboa. Josephine Benzi was in attendance and she put together the following report.
It is in high spirits that the 37th edition of the International Women's Day has taken place throughout the National Triangle, with the march past painting the atmosphere of the Beseke ceremonial ground.
And we are proud today for this Women's Day. We are feasting here with the women, as they say that we have to obey to this motto, who wants gender equality to be a reality in our city. So we have seen how the women have demonstrated. They have made a past march here and other activities in our littoral region. So we are proud of what the women are doing here, and let's just go and continue the feast at the level of the family.
The governor of the Littoral region, Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadiboa, also used this platform to address the current friction pitting teachers and the government.
Like since some days in Cameroon as a whole, and concerning the teachers, and we saw and we heard that at the level of Douala, they pick some teachers and going with them to a police station. So I'm saying that that kind of information is not right. It is also a kind of situation that people want Douala to be in the fire.
After missing last year's March Past celebration due to COVID inconveniences, women from Nigeria and the Equatorial Guinean communities resident in Douala also joined the March Past to grace the event.
Et à l'occasion de la célébration de cette journée internationale de la femme à la vallée de la BCK, ici dans la ville de Douala, la parade a été l'occasion pour les femmes de montrer aux spectateurs quelques-unes de leurs prouesses, des prouesses captées par nos caméras. Reportage Orient Donquin, Gilbert Mangué.
Un véhicule mal stationné et les agents de la communauté urbaine de Douala sont aux aguets pour une pose des sabots. Cette démonstration ici à la place de la BCK par les femmes est venue effacer les préjugés selon lesquels la femme c'est le sexe faible et donc ne saurait faire certains métiers. Ce 8 mars, elles ont montré qu'elles peuvent conduire des engins lourds tels que des camions-citernes, des bennes et mieux des caterpillars. De façon subtile, elles vous disent qu'elles possèdent qui un permis D, qui un permis G et même un permis A et savent faire des acrobaties avec ces engins. Présentes dans divers secteurs d'activité, soyez tranquilles, les femmes assurent votre sécurité. Nous allons clôturer notre parade par les majorettes de la CUD qui annoncent l'arrivée de la mariée aux couleurs nationales, immortalisée par une caméra woman. Égalité homme-femme aujourd'hui pour un avenir durable est le thème de cette 37e édition de la Journée internationale de la femme. Celles présentes ici à la place de la BCK l'ont bien démontré et la relève est assurée.
What can be the philosophy behind fighting against climate change?
L'ensemble, sous la bénédiction divine, grâce à nos évangélistes du jour.
And still in the same vein, in Kumba, chief town of the Meme division in the southwest region of Cameroon, the ceremony took place at the municipal grandstand under the watchful eyes of the governor of that region, Chamberlain Twondong. Catherine Kone followed up on the ceremony and put
We must live as one people.
Women in Kumba, chief town of the Meme division southwest region, dedicated the 37th edition of the International Women's Day to the promotion of peace and unity across the national territory. They solemnly expressed their desire during a well-organized march past at the Kumba Municipal Grandstand today, March 8, 2022. The 2 hours 30 minutes parade was graced with the presence of the Senior Divisional Officer for Meme Division, Chamberlain Twondong.
They came out massively and they demonstrate with a lot of joy, a lot of energy, and they were very, very beautiful. It is after, let me say it openly, after 5 years of the office, it's my first time to celebrate here in Meme with a lot of joy. The population came out massively, and I will permanently continue to thank them, to encourage them, and this is my expected Meme. Meme of joy, Meme of enjoyment, Meme of good life, and Meme of development. Once more, thank you.
Hundreds of women from all walks of life braved the odds and participated in the colorful events under the theme Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. The march past train was comprised with women from the following sectors like education, social affairs, infrastructure, women association, amongst others.
These are great engineers, these are great builders, these are great...
These by several threats from unidentified individuals for the boycott of the Women's Day celebration, one can therefore confirm the event was a success following the huge turnout of women in Meme division of the southwest region of Cameroon.
And away from the Women's Day celebrations, we now talk economy. The price of wheat and grain may in the coming days experience an 8% increase. This due to the ongoing strain between Russia and Ukraine, as Ukraine is the biggest cultivator and exporter of the cereal. Josephine Binzi elaborates more on this story.
With Ukraine being the backbone of wheat cultivation and exportation worldwide, economists predict a surge in the prices of wheat and grains in the nearest future in Cameroon if the Russian-Ukraine tensions are not contained.
Prices of basic products that are imported from abroad in the likes of wheat and other products, because Ukraine is the key producer of wheat in the world, and so if Ukraine is going through a crisis, it means that the volume of wheat in the world market is going to drop, and so prices will obviously rise. And so those products that are imported into Cameroon, because of the fact that there is an increase in the demand and fall in the volume of it in the world market, the prices will be high and it will cost it to the Cameroonian household.
Cameroon politically will have nothing to lose even if the tensions persist.
In the crisis between Russia and Ukraine will depend on if Cameroon gets involved into it. If Cameroon makes a public statement, maybe supporting one person or condemning anything, it's going to get involved into it. But Cameroon really has nothing to do with it.
The Economist further explains an answer to the recent increase in the prices of basic commodities today in Cameroon.
The recent increase in the prices of basic commodities in Cameroon has not been linked to the problem between Russia and Ukraine. This even emanates from far back to the coronavirus period, because during the coronavirus period, farms were shut down, many people were staying home, and because of that, production has to be low.
According to the New York Times of February 24, 2022, the Russian invasion of Ukraine is threatening to cut off some international shipment of wheat, spurring shortages and pushing the prices. Wheat importation in Cameroon is dancing on a swinging pendulum as the market prices are expected to go up pending a definitive solution to the tensions.
On parle santé à présent dans ce journal. Au 28 février 2022, 3 régions du Cameroun sont touchées par le choléra. Environ 170 nouveaux cas sont recensés dans le sud-ouest, le littoral et le sud. Ces chiffres sont communiqués par le ministre de la Santé publique sur la pathologie hydrique très contagieuse. Inès Pangan.
L'eau est au centre de cette pathologie. Les gestes barrières qui s'appliquent au choléra ont tous un lien avec ce liquide. Entre autres, le lavage des mains et la consommation de l'eau potable.
Tout repose déjà sur les mesures d'hygiène de base. C'est laver les mains avant et après les selles, c'est laver les mains avant le repas, c'est laver les mains après avoir été en contact avec toute personne. C'est-à-dire vous avez salué quelqu'un, déjà qu'aujourd'hui avec le corona on se salue moins peut-être, même comme dans les quartiers cela ne se respecte pas. Ça, c'est la première chose. Après, le lavage des mains, bien laver les aliments quand nous consommons crus, notamment les fruits, dont nous ne connaissons pas l'origine, les légumes, et maintenant consommer de l'eau potable.
Une eau de mauvaise qualité qui peut être rendue consommable avec l'application de certaines techniques pratiques.
Disons l'eau déjà qui nous vient de la Société des eaux, mais ou alors, si nous n'avons pas la possibilité d'avoir cette eau, on peut avoir notre filtre à la maison que nous devons bien entretenir. Et là également, il faudrait une éducation, comment entretenir un filtre. Maintenant, il existe d'autres techniques, c'est-à-dire on peut par exemple mettre l'eau à la chaleur, la battre pour la réoxygéner et avoir de l'eau potable.
De même, les manifestations de la maladie aboutissent à terme à une déshydratation de l'individu. Cela passe par des vomissements et des diarrhées fortes. Par conséquent, la réhydratation est au centre du traitement.
Le traitement du choléra repose déjà sur la réhydratation d'abord. C'est-à-dire, puisque c'est une maladie qui déshydrate, c'est-à-dire vous faites la diarrhée, vous déshydratez, donc il faut d'abord réhydrater le malade. La réhydratation se fait par voie orale, c'est-à-dire avec l'essai de réhydratation orale de l'eau. Maintenant, par voie parentérale, on perfuse le malade pour remplacer les pertes hydriques.
En rappel, le choléra est une maladie diarrhéique épidémique strictement humaine due à des bactéries. Après la consommation d'une eau ou d'un aliment contaminé, les vibrions, une fois dans l'intestin, sécrètent des toxines, principales responsables de la déshydratation qui caractérise la pathologie.
And still on our health page, the rise in the infection cases of cholera in Douala imposes an exceptional hygiene measures for many roadside vendors for the safety of their customers. Oni Ladonet visited some of these roadside vendors to see how well they are implementing these measures.
Fruit sellers here in the economic capital, Douala, now respect some hygienic guidelines in order to keep their customers off cholera.
Pour éviter, quand j'achète les fruits, j'ai plus de l'eau, j'utilise les quelques gouttes de
When I
javel.
buy fruits, I wash them with clean water, mixed with a drop of bleach. I make sure I wash my hands before serving.
S'il y a choléra ou pas, voici ce que je fais d'habitude pour mes fruits. Je puise de l'eau avec un
With
torchon
or without
et dans
cholera,
l'eau pour
I wash my
laver
fruits properly in
ces
clean
fruits.
water.
Je
mixed with a
verse
drop of
quelques
bleach.
gouttes d'eau de
I
javel
wash
à
and rinse
l'intérieur.
them,
Je lave mes
then
fruits
wipe
très
with a
bien.
clean towel.
Je verse la première eau. La deuxième eau maintenant, je rince mes fruits avant de les exposer.
Ensuring the environment in which these fruits are purchased is clean is of utmost importance.
Déjà, pour rendre mes fruits propres, je me rassure tout d'abord de l'endroit où je les achète.
I make sure I buy my fruits from a clean environment. The wholesaler should not sell in a dirty area. After buying, I go back home and wash the fruits, knife and tray. The resurgence of the cholera epidemic in Cameroon is a wake-up call for all to adopt healthy and clean habits.
As Ukraine conflict pages us looks to new oil sources. Details with our foreign partners, the Voice of America.
Grim scenes as Russian troops continue their siege of Ukraine and diplomats scramble in global capitals to stop this conflict. But at home, President Joe Biden is facing tough questions about how the stringent sanctions against Russia are affecting Americans. Gas prices have hit a near record $4 per gallon across the U.S., and Biden is under pressure from across the political spectrum to do something, though there is no consensus on what he should do, and he hasn't decided, the White House said.
Well, no decision has been made at this point by the president about a ban on importing oil from Russia. And those discussions are ongoing internally and also with our counterparts and partners in Europe and around the world.
Ukraine's president on Monday called on Biden to make that move.
Sanctions should include a boycott of Russian exports, in particular a refusal of oil and oil products from Russia. It can be called an embargo or just a moral issue when you refuse to give money to terrorists. A boycott of imports to Russia. If they don't want to respect civilized rules, they shouldn't get goods and services from civilization.
In recent weeks, the White House has quietly made the rounds to oil producers the U.S. usually keeps at arm's length, including Russia-friendly Venezuela, to discuss alternative sources of oil. White House officials have also met with Saudi and Iranian officials, and those discussions hinge on much more than oil, Psaki said.
The most important reason why we are focused and have been focused on having these discussions with the Iranians and our P5+1 partners is to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. That is why we're in these negotiations. We are getting closer. There are still important components to work through, but certainly the discussion of oil is a part of that, but the most important reason is to prevent them from acquiring a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, along the Ukrainian-Belarusian border Monday, Russian and Ukrainian delegations met for a third round of talks that both sides said made little progress.
I'm telling you honestly that our expectations from the talks have failed, but we hope that we'll be able to make a more significant step forward next time. The talks will continue.
But in this uncertain time, one thing is unwavering: Ukrainians' resolve. Champion heavyweight boxer turned Kiev mayor Vitaly Klitschko is among those holding the line outside the capital against a Russian advance.
Every house, every street, every checkpoint, we will fight to the death if necessary. No one wants to die, but if necessary, we will protect, most of all, our children, our families.
Harsh words as this conflict stares down a third week, while the world watches. Anita Powell, VOA News, the White House.
And that is how we saw it today on the 8 p.m. Bilingual Primetime Newscast. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant evening in company of programs on Spectrum Television. Bonne soirée à vous, Makeda Lydie, et bonne fête des femmes.
Merci bien, Christelle Asseg. Bonne fête à vous aussi, et bonne fête justement à toutes les femmes. Merci de votre attention, mesdames, messieurs. Au revoir et à demain.